Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and a warm and pleasant welcome to the Emirates MBD Global Business Series, an initiative by Intelligent SME. Now, the Emirates MBD Global Business Series has been an amazing journey that set the platform for the SME community to get up close and personal with the UAE's business icons and corporate leaders. Our motto from the beginning of the series has been to inspire entrepreneurs and senior executives with profound insights and guidance to help people fulfill their aspirations. Now, the successful journey of Intelligent SME would not have been possible without the consistent support of sponsors, partners, and well-wishers. So a special note of gratitude to our strategic alliance partners, Dubai SME, and our title sponsor, Emirates NBD. We also thank our gold sponsor, Porsche Centre Dubai, and Buda Automobiles. We would further like to extend our gratitude to our technology partner, SAP Middle East and North Africa. SAP also caters to small and medium enterprises. Our alliance partners, Western Union Business Solutions, Star Plus, and Life OK. In addition, we'd like to thank the Bryce Group for supporting our initiative. The Bryce Buzz is an iconic tower located in Noida's Sports City. Offering impeccable luxury, this project is set to redefine India's skyline. Building on the success that Emirates MBD Global Business Series and the Global App Summit have generated in the Emirate of Dubai, SPI Group is proud to launch the SME World Summit in March 2014. We aim to provide one of the largest platforms to connect the entire business community, enable companies to share values and vision for boosting growth, create tangible value by meeting potential business leads, understanding successful business models and maintenance, and, in short, taking the industry to the next level. Now, moving on, it's time for this evening's felicitation, and our chief guest for the evening, Deepak Babani, will be felicitated by Vikas Thapar, Head of Business Banking, ENBD, and Mr. Shantanu AP, CEO of the SPI Group. And now for the evening to progress, I would like to introduce our moderator for the evening, Mr. Tariq Qureshi, the founder and CEO of Vantage Holdings. He's also the media representative and advisor for Bloomberg TV and Multimedia in the Middle East. Thank you, Tariq.
Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I see a lot of new faces today, so it's nice to see that the message is spreading wider and more people are coming on board. This journey started just over a year ago. And thanks to the vision of Emirates NBD, who are the original founders of this, and Shan from SPI, we have built a very interesting series. And what I'd like to do today, as today is the 12th and the final episode as far as this first series is concerned, just to have a little recap in terms of the kinds of people who've come in here and the kinds of discussions on leadership that we've had. We had, as we look back, we had stories from rags to riches. We had people like Yogesh Mehta, who came in and he spoke about the time when he had to sell his wife's jewelry for 6,100 dirhams to pay for his rent. We had stories from Dr. B.R. Shetty, where he literally came in slippers and some change in his pocket, and today he's a billionaire. We heard stories from Rizwan Sajjan, who basically didn't even graduate from college, but he's a great story of dedication, of focus, and of achievement. All of these people were very inspirational in the way they touched us. We also, in this series, looked at corporate leadership, because in this environment of Dubai, we have all sorts of people here, and all sorts of leadership stories that this Global Business Series is about. Osman Sultan came in and spoke about how the Arab world has progressed and And he was very honest and frank about the fact that there were several centuries where this part of the world has been fairly quiet. And he feels that there's this renaissance happening. And he spoke about the historical context of that. We had people like the inimitable Rajaram, who, larger than life, spoke about cars and this and that. So again, we saw a different kind of energy. Sanjeev Mehta, who was the chairman of Unilever for the region, he spoke about how, over time, we can develop his whole ability to get to the top of Unilever and run a multi-billion-dollar business. And Gerald Lawless, he came in here as a young general manager, and today he's the executive chairman of the Jumeirah Group. All of them had some interesting stories to tell us, and let me get some insights at the end of this. Then we also looked at some family businesses. The Kanu Group, 6 generations. 90% of family companies start struggling at the 3rd generation. They have lasted 6 and going strong and developing it. Same thing with the Jashanmal Group. And they explained how they have taken a family business and created a corporate structure, a very, very forward-looking corporate structure around it. And that has been its ability to sustain itself. And also Muhammad Al-Fahim, Paris Gallery. Very quiet man, very humble man. But some of his achievements are totally outstanding, and Paris Gallery touched us, each one of us, very, very special. We all buy stuff from Paris Gallery. And last but not the least was one of a kind, Ahmed bin Salem. Anybody who's been on that last session will know that he had some very unique insights into basketball, into leadership, and so on. But his achievements have been outstanding, because he took a small diamond exchange with a turnover of 18 million and took it to 46 billion in less than 10 years. And many, many other achievements. I won't go into all of that, but DMCC has become an example of how Dubai has really blossomed. The reason I put all of those 11 people up there is that there is this consistency in leadership which is very constant. All of these people, they all had different stories, they came from different backgrounds, they have different lifestyles and so on. But all of them had 5 or 10 characteristics of leadership which were exactly the same. They all showed courage. They all showed tenacity. They all showed humanity. All of these leaders showed that consistency of performance is how they managed to get to where they were. They all had very strong core value systems. They all had people who had genuinely inspired them from within. Somebody's mother, somebody's wife, they all had a working infrastructure around them. So these are the consistent value systems that we have seen through this series of leadership at its absolute best. And these are all classic examples. So when we put out our coffee table books and all other bits and pieces, put all of this together and find that thread that goes through this leadership series, and you'll find some very, very interesting insights. What is also important is what they didn't have, or what were things that we were not comfortable with. For example, almost every single one of them I spoke to did not have a work-life balance. In other words, they basically worked desperately hard, and over time they managed to get there. So all of them had to give sacrifices. What else did they not have? I think we can think of many other points in that, but there were things that, actually there were 1 or 2 other things. They'll come back to me later, but the idea really is that these are exceptional people, and what was the difference between being good and being great? And they showed that. Yes, one of the other points I wanted to make was that they stuck to their knitting. They stayed constant with what they knew. A lot of us are jumping all over the place as grasshoppers, changing jobs, changing opportunities, changing businesses, and so on. One of the things is that they didn't change. A lot of them stayed very, very constant in their businesses. So here's a little bit of the backdrop of the kind of leadership traits that we found. And that gives me a very nice segue to come into today's chief guest, which is Mr. Deepak Babani. And he espouses, and he has most, if not all, of these characteristics of true leadership. And in today's conversation, you will actually find a lot of that. So without further ado, let's go forward and look at EROS Group. The first little video shows a little bit about their history and their background. And then we will get into the man who produced this amazing success.
In a world of global commerce and competition, excellence matters above all else. Outstanding brands distinguish themselves through collaborative enterprise, creative marketing, and superior products. These are exceptional brands which stand apart, elevating themselves to the prestigious distinction of being named a super brand. Participation in super brands is by invitation only and offered to the most outstanding brands in their field. Attaining super brand status strengthens a brand's position, adds prestige, and reassures consumers and suppliers that they are buying the best brand in its category. EROS Group is a super brand. EROS Group distributes, retails and services a portfolio of world-class brands in United Arab Emirates and in select markets in the Middle East and East Africa. EROS Group was founded in 1967 in Deira, the heart of Dubai's trade market, with a small store. The company grew with the distribution of Hitachi products in 1969 and continuously expanded with retail stores in Dubai and other Emirates. In 1995, the company partnered with Samsung and since then has developed relationships with many other leading global brands, including Thermobrake, Lennox, VenQ and Taurus. In 2007, EROS Group re-evaluated its brand identity. A more contemporary identity and brand look was unveiled in January 2008 under the catchy slogan, "Follow the Future," to communicate the message of EROS Group being a forward-looking organization. From a team of 500 people in 2006, today EROS Group employs over 1,500 qualified staff representing over 20 different nationalities. Staff are housed in well-maintained housing quarters, where leisure and recreational activities are also available. The company has continued its retail expansion with the opening of new stores in Sahara Center, Al Ain Mall and Mushrif Mall, and has also introduced its express store, EROS Digital Point, at strategic malls such as Al Wahda Abu Dhabi and Mega Mall and Sahara Center in Sharjah. With the opening of a new logistics facility in the Jeb Al Ali Free Zone and Musafa, Abu Dhabi, EROS Group has added over 200,000 square feet of warehouse space and has further plans for a facility at Dubai Investment Park. To address the ongoing needs of Samsung customers, EROS Group has partnered with Samsung in opening exclusive Samsung customer service plazas in Deira, Dubai and the Tourist Club in Abu Dhabi, used by the underprivileged, or to recycle them in an ethical and eco-friendly manner. As a forward-looking company, EROS Group has pursued the many layers of its mission by building customer loyalty and trust, achieving superior financial performance while maintaining the highest level of integrity and adding value for all its stakeholders. Super brands, the most respected universal seal of enduring excellence.
Today, ladies and gentlemen, it's much less about EROS and much more about the man who helped to build this great organization. So let's just take a look at Mr. Babani's life and how it evolved. He's a deeply family man, and we're very privileged to have his wife and his family here, so welcome to you. Thank you very much for coming. We will talk to you during the session, so we'll come to you. Deepak's parents, his early role models, and how, and I think there are a lot of good memories and good emotions there, and we will ask Deepak later how they touched his life as he is today. His family there, Obviously you like, wedding day with the parents. That's a cute picture there. How long ago was that? 36 years ago. Okay, wonderful. 36 happy years, I'm sure. I spoke about not having work-life balance. I think Deepak has now found work-life balance because he obviously has a lot of holidays and he loves adventure. So he's a man who has gone beyond just his work and has enjoyed skiing and canoeing and so on. His early career developed when he came to Dubai, first initially with Jumbo Electronics as an assistant manager, and then he moved to EROS as a marketing manager. I think there were about 15 employees and one office. And today you heard just recently over 1,500 employees. And so these are some of the early days and how he developed himself. This is actually quite important because he has won all the accomplishments that you can potentially think of in this country. CEO of the Year Award and various other performance awards, quality and so on. So he has genuinely made EROS and the whole group as something very special as a super brand. So finally, it's a 45-second video just to set the key elements, and then we'll start the interview.
Sold in the UAE is distributed by EROS Group. So are half of all the mobile phones, 25% of premium refrigerators, and 1/3 of all vacuum cleaners. Today, we have over 12 brands and 3,000 products, making us the largest distributor of consumer electronics in the UAE. We've been voted Super Brand 4 years in a row. And at 33 stores, we have the widest retail network. But numbers can tell only half the story. We bring technology closer. And technology brings people closer. That's our story. That's your story. EROS Group. Follow the future.
Deepak, welcome.
Thank you
we're
very
very
much.
grateful, very privileged that you are here. And we've seen your amazing achievements. But we'd like to start with, if we go back to your early days and your childhood, are there any memories, are there any moments that you remember that really shaped your life, good or bad for that matter?
I came from a background of a middle-class family, a business family. My father